Good morning, everyone. I request you all to please be seated. I welcome you all here today on this auspicious occasion representing a major milestone in our centennial year. I am Abha Gaur, your host for today, and also a faculty in Cornea for over 10 years. I sincerely appreciate all of you being here today, and please accept my heartfelt gratitude for gracing the occasion. This morning, I feel elated. I have had first-hand experience of treating corneal patients in the remote interiors of Uttar Pradesh. And as a trainee, I used to wonder if ever there would be a solution for these problems that I see. And today, I can proudly say we have taken significant steps in addressing these clinical unmet needs. Also, I am filled with immense pride as I can confidently state that I am an integral part of the transformational journey that this institute is taking on. At Shroffs, we take immense pride in our century-long legacy of serving the community irrespective of their paying capacity. We are very fortunate and privileged of being able to serve anyone who walks into our centers in Delhi and also our peripheral centers. As we embark on this journey, developing innovative treatments, we are even more committed to serving the community to the best of our ability. At the forefront of these efforts, we are led by a very committed, kind-hearted leader, a very fine surgeon, and a superb human being, Dr. Umang Mathur, who is our CEO and has been leading this transformation of SCH for the last 20 years now. I would now like to call upon Dr. Mathur for the welcome address, please.
Thank you, Abba. Shri Amitabh Kanji, Sherpa G20, Mr. Sunil Munjal, Chairman of Hero Group, Professor Tityal, Chief of RP Center, AIMS, trustees, my colleagues, and dear friends. It is an absolute honor and privilege to host you at Dr. Shroff's Charity Eye Hospital today. The Shroff Trust was created in 1922 by a visionary ophthalmologist, Dr. S.P. Shroff, and the hospital was commissioned in 1927 by Viceroy Irwin. An important landmark in the city, this hospital has had the privilege of hosting Mahatma Gandhi, Shri Rajendra Prasad, C.J. Andrews, Rajkumari Amrit Kaur, and more recently, Dr. Kalam underwent surgery here. Not many institutions survive 100 years, and even fewer that have stayed steadfast on their purpose. Our mission is to eradicate avoidable blindness and deafness by giving quality care to all sections of the society. Vision makes an important contribution to the 2030 Agenda of Sustainable Development and cuts across many of the Sustainable Development Goals, from poverty reduction to economic growth and employment, to education, gender, and reducing inequalities. In the mid-90s, this organization was strengthened by the administrative and financial support from Aisha and developed a unique cross-subsidy model. We perform 50% of surgeries absolutely free to the poor and maintain financial sustainability in operations by our quality of work for the paid segment and through economies of scale. We performed 62,000 surgeries last financial year and have had a special focus on childhood blindness and have been one of the first centers to develop pediatric ophthalmology as a specialty. To improve access of care, we have surgical centers in Lakhimpur Kheri, Saharanpur, Vrindavan, Meerut, Alwar, and Ranikhet. Primary eye care is provided through 65 vision centers that are manned by vision technicians. We performed over 2 million door-to-door screenings last year in about 3,000 villages in UP. We train doctors through residency and fellowship programs through a model where, while they are getting trained, they serve the rural communities. In the last 6 years, we have trained over 1,500 young women as eye care paramedics. These young women not only improve efficiencies and access, but in doing so, the program generates livelihoods locally and empowers women. As they say, you educate a man, you educate an individual, you educate a woman, you educate a nation. In 2016 to 18, our team of doctors and paramedics performed 6,000 surgeries through 6 campaigns in Botswana in Africa to reduce the backlog of cataract backlog in the country. We see potential of India in influencing goodwill across the globe by providing healthcare solutions, especially in reducing needless blindness. Clinical research has been an integral part of the work we do. We have been collaborating with MIT through an NIH grant to study how vision develops in the brain. Today, we are here to inaugurate a center that is performing cutting-edge research. There are few examples in India of translational research where clinicians and scientists work under one roof. While scientists perform lab experiments, clinicians bring real-world problems and their clinical applications. We are fortunate to have world-renowned clinician scientist Dr. Viren Sangwan with us. Pandorum technology is a tissue engineering and regenerative medicine, a new age startup company, while Dr. Shroff Charity Eye Hospital is a not-for-profit 100 years old institution. Coming together of two unique institutions brings promise of great science and solutions for the future. While as an institution, we plan to reduce avoidable blindness by performing 100,000 surgeries by 2027, we are equally excited to contribute to science and technology. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mathur, for those words. So driving these technological advancements is a startup company from Bangalore called Pandorum Technologies, which was started by two young entrepreneurs, Dr. Tuhin Bhaumik and Dr. Arun Chandru. It's my proud privilege to invite Dr. Bhaumik to say a few words on this occasion as he remotely joins us from New York. Can we have him on the screen? Tuhin, we can see you connected. Yes, we can. Yes, please. Please start, Tuhin. Nice to have you.
Thanks, for the in-depth introduction. I wanted to continue from where Rama has introduced us as a vision company, Pandorum. But I would like to take a step back. As a co-founder and CEO of Pandorum, Pandorum is also an integral part of my life, and the origin of that was triggered by a tragic event in my own life. That's losing my dad to lung cancer. And there was a dark 1 year in my life which I faced during my PhD years of science. And what realization it gave me is, as a scientist, we work on the lab bench. And from there to the patient's bedside, that journey could be 20, 30 years long. Many times we treat patients, like in some cases of corneal blindness, we treat patients with super glue, the chemical which is there in super glue, putting it into their eye, just so that they can not suffer from being blind, but make the situation they're getting further worse. And it's a 20, 30 years old technology. So the drive to do this kind of translation research, so from lab bench, new that kind of technology can come to the bedside of the patient and remove their sufferings. That was one of the key drivers to start Pandorum for me, a personal level, to take a journey from being a scientist to being an entrepreneur. And when I met Dr. Sangwan in 2016, 2017, that drive got a real life vision, and it got a form. And that is something, a technology what we call liquid formula, where we could combine biomaterials with regenerative molecules in such a way that we can regrow cornea at a patient's eye. This is in a scalable way that it can be given to hundreds of thousands of patients, every patient having consistent outcome, which is, for a country like India, which has millions of patients waiting for a cornea transplant, and we transformative. And it's also like, rather than every donor cornea, which comes from a different person, 60-year-old person's donor cornea will go into a 50-year-old blind person. Rather than those kind of situations, you can do it in a controllable manner, that every person gets back vision within 3 to 4 months of one-time treatment. Within 6 months, you get back your vision. Also, in cases of blindness which cannot be treated with cornea transplant. So that was a vision. And SP core is the track which connects the bench to the bedside. It's a clinical translation center, multidisciplinary, bringing scientists and clinicians together. So that's something I wanted to share with you. That just about a few days back, like besides what we have built in terms of infrastructure and team, it's also again the drive. Like I asked one of our scientists, Dr. Mehek, who is present there, that why is SP core? You know what is SP core? And she said, just few days back, she said it's a transitional research center so that we can treat the blind and remove sufferings from the world. And that we're all over here for that common goal. I would definitely like to thank our investors who are visionaries themselves to help us in this journey. And all about Dr. Sangwan, I mentioned one key point that we all know Dr. Sangwan is a personal vision. But Thomas Alva Edison said that vision without execution is hallucination. Dr. Sangwan is not just a man of vision, he's also a man of action and institution builder, without which we couldn't have come this far today, very that year in mind with this technology to patients. Thank you.
Thank you, Tuhin, for your very bold vision of developing the innovative products made in India for the world. Next, I would like to invite someone who is an innovator, an out-of-the-box thinker, and a practicing cornea surgeon. He always tries to find unconventional solutions for difficult corneal conditions. Dr. Sangwan has followed a very atypical path for a clinician. He has been at Orbis, a flying eye hospital, a fellowship from Harvard. He spent his significant part of his clinical career at L.V. Prasad Eye Institute, and now he heads the translation research at our center. Sir, could you please come and share your thoughts?
Yes. And why this is behaving like this? Audio रहेगा. Thank you very much, Abha, for the kind words. And thank you, Mr. Kant, Sunil sir, and Dr. Titial, all distinguished guests for gracing the occasion and blessing us on this very important milestone. I'll say a little bit about why and how we do these things for the eradication of blindness or for addressing or developing solutions which matters to the people on the ground.
He just looks so cool. Can he keep that cool going? Loads of things will be going through his mind. Should I go for another one? Should I look for another boundary? if I take a single, it'll be Mohammad Asif on strike. In the air, Srijan takes it! India win! Unbelievable scenes here at the bull ring. Jeff Lawson can't believe it. The Pakistan player stunned. And India would believe they've got out of a corner. Misbah-ul-Haq doesn't want to leave the field. But what a match for a 2020 final. India, the world champions.
Many of you are pointing the video is not there, but that was deliberate because no one watches the match like this. But there are at least 15 million people who do all these activities like this. And for most of you become very irritating that, oh, there's no video. So we can't tolerate video or seeing without even for a 1 minute, and think about the people who are blind forever. And when a person loses eyesight, he just does not become blind. He loses hope, he loses self-respect, and also the will to live. And to restore these elements is very important that we innovate and we do such things. Just to give you an idea about the magnitude of this problem, every 5 seconds, one person in our world goes blind. Every minute, a child goes blind. 90% of blindness is in the developing country, and that is 90% of all that is in India. So the magnitude of the problem that we are dealing and what we have to do is humongous, and just doing operations is not going to work. So we need to do further, develop new solutions. For example, this gentleman who hails from Gujarat, who got married, an engineer, went to Canada, and the moment, within a few years, he got blind in both eyes. And for next 40 years, he remained blind because there was no solution for his problem. In 2006, he came to Hyderabad, and where we did the stem cell transplant, and the daughter flew from Switzerland, and she donated the limbal tissue, and he saw the daughter for the first time. The value of such intervention is immense and uncalculable.
I didn't believe what I was seeing. I had a completely clear sight. It was unbelievable.
Jan Roos comes from a very developed country called Netherlands, and he could afford anything, whatever was available. But in Netherlands and whole of Europe, there was no such treatment, and the doctors there did not tell him about that treatment is available in India. He discovered us on internet and came to Hyderabad, and then after surgery, this is what he has to say. Sometimes I just close my right eye to enjoy the marvelous improvement in the left eye. I'm very grateful that an unknown patient from Netherlands, and my life has changed after coming to India. And his life did change significantly. When he was blind, he lost hope. His girlfriend left him. His business was going down. Coming here, he built a business in India. He comes every 3 to 4 months and for checkup. I've seen him here also regularly. The stem cell treatment that we started in 2001 represented the world's largest stem cell treatment for any organ anywhere in the world, with an excellent success rate of 75%. And that resulted in the inauguration of stem cell lab in 2005 by President Kalam. And these kind of inaugurations and institutions were ahead of time. But today it represents one of the finest laboratories in the world dedicated for eye diseases and developing new treatments. This boy was brought to us in 2012, and father said, he doesn't want to go to school. Can you remove the eye? And we said, maybe we can do something different. And this is what we did. We took the tissue from the normal eye, used the other eye after cleaning up as a laboratory, as a petri dish, and grown the tissue within the eye. And that resulted in significant, over 90% improvement.
Well, my mission is basically to learn about the science and technology of a new type of corneal limbal cell transplantation that Dr. Verinder Sangwan has invented and popularized.
So this technology, which is made entirely in India for the world and is going all over the world, and you can see in this graph the number of surgeons, the number of publication globally rising, and its competing technology which is there in Europe called Ocular. For one patient, it costs 85,000 euro. And the surgery which we have developed here costs $700 at most. And about 50% of those patients we do completely free. So this has democratized the surgery and the stem cell technology. And when you say that you need to deal with a huge amount of population, doctors alone cannot do. And we need technology.
Very useful.
So this innovation center started in 2013 with the help of MIT Media Lab in Boston and the BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus. We started working with the engineers to develop innovative solutions. And this again was inaugurated by President Kalam in 2013. And this innovation center represents one of the largest eye technology innovation center globally, and there are 17 products which are at the deployment stage. And this is one of a very simple auto-refractor or a self-testing of the visual acuity, and can be used in the screening. In Telangana, all school screening is done using by this device. This brings us to another technology that we have been developing and we have been working, a bioengineered cornea, meaning that supply and demand gap is so much that human donations cannot meet that, and over 10 million people are waiting for the transplant. And that's why the bioengineered cornea, this is a patient that we did surgery using a recombinant collagen, which is bioengineered cornea, and it has worked for, at least for 5 years that I had followed the patient. And from there that we started asking question, can we not develop a better product? Like if you see the perforations or the patchwork that we have to do. Today, what we are using? Fevicol. Fevicol is used for building material. And that's what the product we use for sealing the corneal perforation. And that's where this bioengineered liquid cornea comes into, that we want to get rid of these things and we want to develop a very biologically integratable and regenerative solution which will do the patchwork for these kind of eye problems which are not even classified as corneal blindness. And all the patchwork that can be done easily, can be customized to the situation, can be customized to the problem of the patient. And even last week I was in Singapore, and a friend and collaborators from Japan, we were talking about even these very difficult problems for which we don't have any solution. This technology which we are developing will be very, very useful, and we are already thinking how Japan and India can collaborate to solve this group of patients. So finally, success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. Thank you very much, gentlemen and ladies.
Thank you, Dr. Sangwan. Your vision is unparalleled. So to make a positive impact on society, it takes more than just a great idea. It requires the necessary resources that can turn that idea into a tangible reality. Today, we are fortunate to have the esteemed presence of Mr. Sunil Kant Munjal, a renowned business leader, a philanthropist, and chairman of Hero Enterprises. He has made strategic investments in several areas ranging from e-commerce to hospitality. And he also supports startups on digital learning, community transportation, healthcare, women empowerment, education, and is also deeply committed to bringing technology solutions to the masses. Mr. Munjal's unwavering passion and dedication to bridging the gap between technology and societal needs has led him to forge collaborations with remarkable companies like Pandorum. Through his vision and leadership, he has played a crucial role in providing the resources to transform innovative ideas into practical solutions. Sir, with your extensive and diverse investments in various industries, we are particularly interested in understanding what inspires your involvement in the cause for corneal blindness. We would kindly request you to share your valuable insights with us.
Mr. Amitabh Kant, Dr. Sangwan, Dr. Mathur, Dr. Shroff, Arun, ladies and gentlemen. You just heard from Toheen, the co-founder. Incidentally, Arun is the other founder sitting here quietly in the corner. His motivation for getting involved in focusing on treatments that can change people's lives. I think we, as a nation, are extremely fortunate that our biggest weakness, our biggest challenge, is also our biggest strength. Our diversity as a nation, the different variety of the kind of people that we have in this country make this probably the biggest challenge and also the most interesting place on the planet. As you just said, that we have an active investment office that focuses on supporting ideas to reality, which can actually have a positive impact on society. We have a very unusual investment criteria. Like most other investors, of course, we have a criteria which looks at financial returns, but that's actually comes at the tail end of our assessment. We first look for founders who are passionate about what they do. We try and identify goods and services being made by them or proposed to be made by them, which have a felt need in society. We look for those who show potential to become leaders in their chosen field. And the last and the most important one is other than things like good quality governance, ethics, integrity, because those we take for a given. Without that, we don't like to get engaged or involved. But the last one, as I said, is in some sense the most important one, is what is the impact it will have on communities and society. So our investments range across a very wide spectrum, and we specifically look for areas which have this multiplier impact and effect on people, on families, on communities and societies. This perfectly fits that criteria. When Toheen and Arun first approached us, we were not quite sure of what their potential is. But the more we looked at the idea of finding a real cure for corneal blindness, which today has no real cure, of finding a way to cut short the wait that many patients have for organ transplants, who wait for months, sometimes years. And unfortunately, as we know, the numbers are a sad story that the majority of patients who need organs do not actually get them. They pass away and die before they actually get a replacement. So their idea of developing a three-dimensional printed liver all through exosome was what actually attracted us to look at this idea. This did not come directly to us. It came through the Indian Angel Network first. And the Indian Angel Network itself is doing an amazing job in identifying and supporting very early stage startups. And I want to acknowledge the wonderful work they are doing. I also want to thank Mr. Amitabh Kant. Actually, he is an amazing individual. On literally a 2-minute conversation, he's saying, "ठीक है, मैं आऊँगा. ये क्या चीज़, पहले क्या चीज़ है बताओ." Now, since I've sat down, he's asked me about 25 questions, by the way, on the hows and whys of what this is doing. I don't need to tell all of you about Dr. Shroff's institution, because this itself is a missionary institution. It's an institution set up and run with the missionary zeal, and that demonstrates itself in the tens of thousands of people who go through the doors of this institution and come out living a better quality of life. So I want to thank each and every one of you. I may not have named some of you who are here or who are contributing to this. I think this is an absolutely amazing thing to do, to bring together ideas and the ability to translate ideas into reality. Translational research, of course we need basic research in a country like India because we are behind at this moment. But translational research is truly the need of the hour right now. We set up a university a few years ago, and we said that we need to indicate what is important. So we started research one day before we started teaching classes. Not that it would have mattered if we started a year later, but the idea was just to indicate that this matters, and it matters to us more than most things. So we've not only set up a center for innovation there, a center for entrepreneurship, an incubator, an accelerator, but something we call an institute for inclusive innovation, trying to find solutions, simple, applicable solutions, practical, which will work for big problems. So we have tried to address things like water, things like access to quality healthcare by all. And it may sound like a simple statement. And in many ways we've attempted, some of you may know that I also chair DMC in Ludhiana, which is now one of the largest teaching hospitals in the country. So our attempt is to try and come at this from multiple perspectives. I want to thank Arun and Tuhin for giving us the chance and the opportunity to engage with them. We are attempting to see how we can bring our experience, connections, and knowledge to support the number of early stage companies that we get engaged in. And we are attempting to do the same here with, I think Arun spent the entire day in our office yesterday, as he does every few months. And Tuhin is in touch with Mohit and Muneet and with our team almost on a weekly or a fortnightly basis. But I think this combination of what we just heard from Dr. Sangwan, if we can turn this into reality, we would have done a great service for society and community. So thank you for your initiative, and thank you, all of you, for the encouragement and the support and the facilitation that all of you provide. Good luck and all the very best.
Thank you, sir, for partnering with us in the eradication of corneal blindness. I am sure you all have heard about Incredible India and God's own country, Kerala. But do you know the person behind these initiatives? I'm talking about our chief guest, Mr. Amitabh Kant. We are honored to have you, sir. Your exceptional leadership and expertise has been instrumental in shaping the global politics and fostering international cooperation. Now, as a G20 Sherpa, sir, you are playing a vital role in addressing crucial global challenges and driving sustainable development. We appreciate your contributions to nation building, and we are deeply touched and honored to have you with us on this momentous occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in extending a warm welcome to Mr. Kant, a true leader, a catalyst of transformation. And sir, could you please share your words of wisdom with us?
my very distinguished classmate from school, Dr. Cyrus Shroff, Dr. Sangwan, who's doing some cutting-edge work, Dr. Vipin Bakshi, who's the catalyst in bringing me here today, Dr. Tityal, the head of Rajendra Prasad Center for Ophthalmology in All India Institute, Dr. Umang Mathur, the founders of Pandorum, Tuhin and Varun, and Mr. Sunil Munjal, who's been a very dynamic entrepreneur himself and a great supporter of very many innovations in India. All the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm first of all truly delighted to be here to see this very cutting edge work that is being done. I was not fully aware. I largely came because when I was growing up, Dr. Vipin Bakshi was my neighbor. And you know, you have faith in your neighbors when you grow up, and he's become a leading doctor. So he said, "Yahan jana hai." So I associated with Dr. Shroff because Dr. Shroff, I'd studied with Dr. Shroff in school. He'd never come second in his life. He's always come second. I was a mediocre. But he's always topped in school. Realized that what a fascinating and so facility has been built up over the years. Here when I was probably in school, I've come delighted to come here and I had nostalgic memories of this place. But I'm truly delighted, firstly, because I was given a round of the Shroff Eye Hospital, and I was delighted to see the cutting-edge work and the immense amount of contribution to society that is being done here in terms of eye care, which is such a major problem, as Dr. Shangwan brought out. It's affecting a vast section of our humanity, and the great work that is being done in the Shroff Eye Hospital. That's number one. But more than that, I was truly delighted to see the work, and I was not very much aware of this, of the work that is being done by Pandorum in terms of, you know, this whole bioengineering for cornea. And that's really cutting edge work which Tuhin and Varun have done. And these are all young entrepreneurs who have made a difference to innovation. India was not associated with this kind of cutting edge work, but these young people, you know, in 2016 when we started Startup India, we just had about 400 odd startups in India. Today you have 98,000 startups in India. We have 110 unicorns. And we have, you know, when I was in college, there was no other option but to get into government because you either join the private sector or government. But today young people are doing their own enterprises, their own startups. They are disrupting society. They are doing a lot of innovation in a range of areas. And that's why India has done path-breaking work in a whole range of areas, including digitization, financial inclusion. They've done huge amount of work in taking UPI in insurance to wealth creation. Huge range of work young startups have done in a vast range of areas. But I've always been a believer that we need to get into a range of new areas like deep tech, bioengineering, etc. And Pandorum is a great example of what young entrepreneurs can do here. And this is a great combination of what can be done between Bangalore and between USA. One entrepreneur sitting in Bangalore, one sitting in USA, because it shows the power of our ability to do population scale innovation at low cost. This is the scale of what much of that was demonstrated by Dr. Sangwan in his presentation, that what he is able to do here at very low cost costs an enormous amount in the United States of America, and people in Netherlands come here for this because they're not aware that there is such a practice going on. But this requires that there is a set of unique innovators who are doing bioengineering. It requires a set of doctors. It requires a hospital which is able to actually take it to population scale, is able to scale it to large, to a huge size and scale, which is India's strength. Its population is India's strength. So we are able to do it to size and scale and then sharply bring down the costs. And this is what has been done here by Pandorum in partnership with Dr. Sangwan, in partnership with the Shroff Hospital, that this lab has enabled them to do great innovation and take it to population at very, very low cost. And this is, to my mind, really cutting edge. This is path breaking. And this is what really will establish India as a very innovative society in due course. But this requires several things to be done. This requires committed investors like Sunil Munjal who really want to show that innovation is all about making a difference to society. And what this innovation does is it makes a huge impact on the lives of citizens. And therefore, when I didn't know that I'm coming to an event where the impact on society, on citizens will be so enormous. But to my mind, this is a great, great collaboration, a phenomenal collaboration between Pandorum, between the Shroff Hospital, between really top-class doctors like Dr. Sangwan, Dr. Umang Mathur, and many other doctors who are working here, and their ability to really make a difference to society. So this is unique. I really want to take this opportunity to congratulate all the people who are associated with this. I really want to congratulate Pandorum. I want to congratulate the Shroff Eye Hospital. And I really want to congratulate investors like Sunil Munjal, who have walked this path of trying to make a massive disruption to society by innovating in areas like artificial cornea. So I look forward to this becoming one of the top-class innovations of India, much like Unified Payment Interface has done. We were able to take it to large scale. An innovation like UPI, we could do digitization, we could do banking, we could then build individual identities, we could then take it to banking, we could then take it to insurance, we could take it to wealth creation, which we could take it to a whole range of areas. And therefore, we've seen disruption in a whole range of areas. And similarly, this bioengineering will enable us to make a massive difference to eye. And I was delighted to see just now I was glancing through it, that they're working also in the field of liver, in the field of lung, and all this artificial regeneration would actually make a difference, that you'll not go around looking for human beings to provide their cornea, but you'll be able to do it artificially, and therefore, and at very, very low cost. So really great work. This is transformational work. This is cutting edge work. This is path breaking work. And this is all credit to the doctors, to Pandorum, and to the Shroff Eye Hospital. My good wishes, and I'm always there to fully support you in any manner, in whatever way you think. We are all there from government to fully support you. Thank you very much. And all good wishes and all success to you.
Thank you, sir. We would request you to please be on stage for the digital inauguration.
Sir, we want a digital inauguration.
We would like a digital inauguration by Mr. Khan.
Then we'll go to the lab. But he just... अच्छा. So आपने सिर्फ press करना है. मैं खोल रहा हूँ. ये नहीं close करो. और close करो. हाँ. बस जब सर बोलेंगे.
चल रहा है.
I would like to congratulate Arun, Tuhin and the entire Pandorum team for this very, very important occasion today. you indeed have reached a very important milestone. The setting up of the Shroff Pandorum Center for Ocular Regeneration is indeed a remarkable feat that you have accomplished. I have known Arun Tuhin since they were researchers and they won the first Student Startup Award Best. Since then, they have only grown, not only in terms of the research and innovation that they have done, but also in terms of what they have been able to contribute to the innovation ecosystem. From the best to the big, to SPIR, to BIPP, then to the angel funds, the venture funds. What a wonderful journey. A journey that we are proud of. You indeed have made us proud within the country of the journey that you have had and also how it reflects on the growth of our biotech startup ecosystem. Your determination, your passion, and your ability to take up high-risk innovation is what has made you reach where you are today. I'm also very pleased that your innovative research, which is high risk, has today received the recognition not only from investors who have invested in your enterprise, but also your research has today been recognized by one of the leading eye hospitals, and you will be able to take forward your research and innovation to be able to provide affordable and accessible innovations, healthcare interventions based on the high-risk innovation that you have done. I wish you great success. I wish I could be with you personally, but I promise you I will definitely come and visit your lab to see the wonderful work that you're doing, and we hope that this journey of yours continues much more. BIRAC, DBT, the entire Indian ecosystem is proud of you.
Thank you, everyone. And before we can move on to having a tour of the facility, I would request Dr. Arun Chandru, our co-founder of Pandorum, to please speak a few words.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, thanks for being here, and especially, I'm proud of today because of, the achievement what has happened over the years, and looking forward to the, future. So, first of all, I would like to thank Mr. Amitabh Kant for gracing this occasion. It's an honor to have you here, sir. And, essentially, by academics, I am an aerospace engineer. So, before I met Dr. Sangwan, I hadn't heard the word cornea. So that was what we were. And if you can see now, in a very layman terms, actually, the cornea is the skin of your eye. It's kind of the transparent layer of the eye. And when it gets damaged, it becomes opaque. You can't see, light doesn't go inside. So that's why you're blind. So what we have managed to achieve over the past 10 years, and particularly more so over the past 5 years, is that we have a solution by which we can regenerate this cornea. Essentially, remove the part which is opaque, throw it out, and make the body regenerate your own cornea, which is transparent, which is new, which is your own. You're not basically dependent on any donor corneas. And you make these things in the lab. So that's the kind of beauty of it, actually. Now, in this journey, scientists working alone in the lab, engineers working alone in the lab, it doesn't really translate things. There are a number of people doing that, actually. But in our case, we have been fortunate, to work with Dr. Virender Sangwan. So, it's not something which engineers and scientists are making in the lab and trying to sell it in the market. It's like the doctors are trying to get things made from us. So it's the other way around, actually. And, thanks to Shroff Hospital, this is, one of the finest institutions in the country. So, we are very privileged to work with Shroff Eye Hospital. The staff here, actually, they have been tremendously helpful. And I think we should make a positive impact on patients soon. Particularly Dr. Umang Mathur, who has been very supportive for establishing the center and things like that. So we started this journey in long back, actually about 10 years back, when we were students at Indian Institute of Science. we actually saw an advertisement in the newspaper which said, 5 lakh rupees you will get if you win this competition. That was our government of India at that point of time, Department of Biotechnology. So we got the first prize, and that's how we started this, company. That's how we started learning what's a company and whatever, all those things. The first 5 years, actually, we were fully supported by the Government of India, Department of Biotechnology, via various, research grants, competitive research grants. 2015-16, actually, we were again, fortunate to get the support of Indian Angel Network. That's, India's largest investment network, actually. And we have been, supported by them from that time till now, actually. And Mr. Bini Bansal, and then we have Mr. Sunil Munjal here, who has been our supporter since then. Particularly, it's not like you put in things and resources and then put in people, things will happen. It requires a lot of interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary collaboration for these things to happen. So that is wouldn't have been possible without the support of, say, the whole team that we have at Shroff, SP Core, at Pandorum in India, in US, sitting everywhere actually. And also because of the ecosystem. Like, say, for example, we don't have a atomic fork microscope which costs crores of rupees. But in India at present, the government of India and the various stakeholders, they have set up so many incubators and these kind of ecosystems which enable research. So it's like, we have taken hundreds and thousands of pictures of, these kind of advanced microscopes, but we have never bought a microscope. That is because of the ecosystem which has been created in the country, by which, startups like us and others in the deep tech space, they are getting, a lot of, say, benefit. And, last but not the least, particularly the team who has been working to make this event happen and, run pretty smoothly, including Dr. Abba, Anil, Mehak, Jyoti, Bharti, Monica, Karthik, and Dr. Sangwan. So thank you, thanks a lot, and we look forward to your support, everyone's support. Thank you.
Thank you, Arun. I would request Dr. Mathur to please accompany our chief guest, Mr. Kant, Mr. Sunil Munjal, for the inauguration. We can proceed for refreshments before we can take a tour of this facility.